Have you ever felt that pull, that urge to leave everything behind and chase a dream? That was me. My name is Ethan, and for as long as I can remember, my world felt too small. My hometown, with its quiet streets and familiar faces, felt like a cage. My dream was to be a filmmaker, to capture stories bigger than the one I was living. The problem? My dad, who was a practical man, a carpenter who believed in tangible things, in building with your own two hands. He saw my camera as a toy, my dreams as a waste of time. Real work dirties your hands, son, he'd say, looking at his own, calloused and worn. Our house was a battleground of silent disapproval and loud arguments. The day I turned 18, I packed my bags. The fight we had that morning still echoes in my mind. Words were thrown like stones, each one leaving a bruise. "You'll be back when you fail," he yelled as I walked out the door. I didn't turn back. I couldn't. I had to prove him wrong. The city was a whirlwind of noise, lights, and endless possibilities. It was intoxicating. Threw myself into my work, taking any gig I could find, weddings, commercials, passion projects that paid nothing but experience. Years blurred into one another. Sent my mom postcards, brief emails, but my dad, silence. I told myself it was pride. It's pride, my pride. The chasm between us felt too wide to cross. I achieved a sliver of success. A short film I made, got into a small festival. I remember standing there, watching my name on the screen, expecting to feel a surge of victory. Instead, all I felt was a hollow ache. I wanted to call my dad. I wanted to say, "See, I didn't fail." But the phone felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. I imagined his gruff voice, the inevitable, "I told you so," that I was sure would come, even in my success. So I didn't call. The real turning point came in a way I never expected. My mom called, her voice trembling. "Your father, he had a fall. He's in the hospital." The world stopped spinning. Suddenly the film festival, the city, the dreams, they all faded into the background. All I could see was my dad's face. The last time I saw him, angry and hurt. I drove for 10 hours straight, my mind a chaotic slideshow of memories. Building a treehouse with him as a kid, the smell of sawdust on his clothes, the way he'd whistle a tuneless song while he worked. How had I let so much time slip away? When I walked into his hospital room, he looked smaller, frailer than I remembered. He was staring out the window, and for a moment, he didn't see me. When he finally turned his head, his eyes widened. There was no anger, no "I told you so." There was just a deep, weary sadness. I stood there, frozen, the words I'd rehearsed catching in my throat. He broke the silence first. "You came," he whispered, his voice raspy. I just nodded, tears blurring my vision. I pulled a chair to his bedside, and we just sat there for a while. Later that evening, as I was helping him with his dinner, he pointed to my hands. "You've got calluses," he said, a faint smile on his lips. I looked down at my own hands, marked from years of lugging heavy camera equipment. "I guess I do," I replied. He reached out and placed his hand over mine. "That's real work," he said, and in that one moment, the years of anger and misunderstanding just melted away. We didn't need a grand apology. We didn't need to rehash every fight. We just needed to be there, father and son. In the weeks that followed as he recovered, I stayed, recorded him not for a film, but for me. I captured his stories about his grandfather, about building our house, about meeting my mom. I was finally using my camera not to escape my world, but to understand it. I realized my dream wasn't just about telling big, epic stories. It was about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, the beauty in the things we often overlook. My biggest story was right here, all along. My dad is better now, back to tinkering in his workshop. I still live in the city, but I go home every month. We talk on the phone every week. Sometimes we don't say much, but we don't need to. The silence isn't heavy anymore, it's comfortable. I learned that chasing your dreams is important, but you should never run so far that you can't find your way back home. Family, connection, forgiveness. These are the foundations we build our lives on. They are the realest work of all. Don't wait for a phone call from a hospital to realize it. Pick up the phone today. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and join our community. See you next time.